Okay, this is shocking. Somebody sent me this article. This is absolutely freaking shocking. It says that abortion is the leading cause of death in the world. And I'm reading this after someone sent it to me and I'm like, I don't know if this is true. Like, this is a really wild claim. Like, if this statistic is true, that is so mind-blowingly morbid, I can't even comprehend it. And so I need to find out, is abortion the leading cause of death? And that's what I'm going to investigate today. Let's figure it out. Oh no, I just rubbed out my son's birthday present list. No! Dang it. That is annoying. All right, anyway. All right, where do we go when we've got questions? Google. Not like I'm saying Google's the trustworthy, place, actually, but it is a good place to start. So, what is the leading cause of death? All right, so what are we seeing straight off the bat? I'm not seeing anything to do with abortion, that's for sure. I'm seeing heart disease is coming in at number 1, cardiovascular diseases, 19.8 million deaths per year in 2022, sorry. Cancer following that at about 10 million deaths in the same year. Respiratory diseases seems to be coming in third, but this is just Google, so let's go find something a little more reliable. Okay, so we've got some data from 2023. Apparently, in 2023, total deaths was 60 million people in that year. Of that, 19.1 died because of heart diseases, and then it was cancers after that with 10.6 million people. Then you've got other causes like respiratory diseases, kidney diseases, neurological diseases, etc. And at the bottom here, I noticed it said that neonatal deaths was 2.7%, which is babies who died in the first 28 days of life. And I don't think that that's inclusive of the unborn. So let's keep investigating. This is a good chart. So you can see that cardiovascular disease is in the lead by far as the number 1 cause of death. There's no sign of abortion on this chart here. All right, let's check what the World Health Organization has to say. According to them, there is 68 million deaths worldwide in a year. And if you combine the top 10 reasons, that takes up 57% of the total, which is 39 million deaths per year. They have as their leading causes of death something similar to what we just saw before. Heart disease is coming in at number 1, respiratory issues, stroke. I actually thought that Alzheimer's would be up higher. I've often heard that dementia and Alzheimer's is one of the leading causes of death. So yeah, again, no abortion in sight. All right, so I'm gonna write this down because this is important. We've got 68 million deaths per year across the whole world. Apparently, the number 1 reason is not abortion. Apparently, the number 1 reason is heart disease at 20 million. But obviously, these places are not recording abortion as a cause of death at all because they don't recognize the unborn as human beings, which is crazy, right? Because medical professionals that are performing abortions, or at least understand what an abortion is, totally understand that the unborn baby is alive. Like, the procedure intentionally ends the life of the unborn. That is the whole point of the procedure. So they know that it's ending the life of a human entity, whether or not they're willing to call it a person or not. But what's odd is even though they know that a death occurs, they don't record it as a death. What we can do to figure out how many deaths are caused by abortion is simply ask how many abortions are performed in a year. 73 million. That is a huge number. This is the World Health Organization, who literally just said that 68 million was the number of total deaths in the world, and yet abortion, which every single abortion results in at least the death of 1 person, and 73 million abortions take place worldwide each year, which means that 73 million people are dying by an abortion. 73 million abortions a year is more than the total deaths in the world combined. All of the deaths in the world, if you combine all of them, they do not even compare to the amount of people who are killed via abortion every year. That is unimaginable. Oh my gosh, the world is a bad place. Oh, wow. Abortions worldwide this year. So we're in May right now. We're up to 15,532,889. It's going up by the second. That's morbid to witness. That's people's lives. I noticed on the World Health Organization and here they're saying induced abortion. And they've actually got a disclaimer here of what that actually means. They're basically saying that it means that it's an intentional abortion, whereas spontaneous abortion would be a miscarriage. I really hate that terminology, using spontaneous abortion to describe miscarriage. Anyway, it is important that they are clarifying the difference between the two here, and that this stat refers to the intentional abortion and the intentional loss of life for the unborn. And they say that every year there is around 73 million induced abortions, and this corresponds to approximately 200,000 abortions a day. A day. Okay, I can't comprehend what 73 million actually looks like or means. So how many people are in Australia? What's the Australian population? So the whole of the country of Australia is only 27.7 million. So we're not even scratching the surface of what 73 million looks like. So if we eliminated all Australians this year, it wouldn't even come close to how many abortions are happening. What about England? Okay, England is nearly 60 million. So if you eliminated all of Australia and most of England this year, that would be somewhat reflective of what we're doing to the unborn. Like, yes, this is a genocide. Are you kidding me? So abortion is the leading cause of death, but institutions are not willing to acknowledge that because they don't acknowledge that the unborn are persons, and so they don't really acknowledge that they can die. Though they can end their lives via abortion, they can't actually die. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, this is what it is. This is the global cover-up of the leading cause of death. Now, I don't know about you, but 73 million is too big a number for me to comprehend. In fact, 68 million, the total global number of deaths combined, apart from abortion, that is also a number that is too big for me to comprehend. So I'm going to try and draw this up on the board and see if I can make this make sense. Okay, let's make a chart. Now this is just rough so that we can have a visual of what it looks like. So 10 million people died from cancer. So let's say that looks like this. Then roughly double that would be the cardiovascular diseases. I'm just neatening these up because I realize they probably need to look a little bit bigger because they are the other causes of death. Anyway, so the apparent leading cause of death, 20 million. Now, if we just measure this up roughly, what would 73 million look like compared to this as a representative for 20 million? And that's the difference. That is the difference. What the heck? This is all here. This is 68 million combined, everything combined. That's apparently the leading cause of death, heart disease. It's not even comparable. That's roughly the right ratio. It's not even comparable. This is the amount of deaths that are caused by abortion every year. And it's intentional. There is 365 days in a year, 24 hours in a day, and 60 minutes in an hour, which is 525,600 minutes in a year, which means that there is 139 babies killed every minute. 139 babies. How many babies were killed while we watched this video? And there's 60 seconds in a minute, so there's 2 to 3 babies killed every second. How many babies was that just now? And that again, gosh, if we just wait here for 10 seconds, that's another 20 to 30 babies who died violently in their mother's wombs. This is very serious. This is not something to take lightly. 73 million babies a year. So yeah, that article was right. It's pretty hard to comprehend, but the leading cause of death really is abortion. How many babies died since the beginning of this episode? Well, this show turned out to be about 10 minutes long, and so that means there was about 1,400 babies that died since we pressed play. So I'm just marking these up. Each one of these represents a little baby that died since the beginning of this episode. I know these stick figures are really very badly drawn, but each one of them does represent a baby that was alive at the beginning of this episode and has now been killed because of abortion in just the last 10 minutes.